We continue to present you daily map reports on Ukraine-Russia war. With the start of Ukraine's counterattack, the increased mobility is reflected on the entire front line. Russian decision-makers are experiencing a great panic in recent days. It is possible to say that there have been a smaller-scale defeat in the Russian army with the Ukrainian counterattack. Although many sources claim that Ukraine's counteroffensive has begun, a senior Ukrainian official recently made an interesting statement. The counteroffensive has not yet started. Ukrainian troops are conducting tests on the front line. That is, they are carrying out offensive actions to identify Russian weaknesses, said Podolyak, chief advisor to the president of Ukraine. So has Ukraine fully started the counterattack? Let's interpret the agenda by analyzing the latest events on the map. Podolyak's claims about the Ukrainian counterattacks are in line with our previous reports. In our previous reports, we stated that the first stage of Ukraine's counteroffensive is to weaken Russian positions and gather information about the status of the Russian troops deployed in these positions. These operations are usually referred to as attrition operations in the military literature. At many points during the attrition operations, the Ukrainian army managed to push back Russian troops. We know that the activity in the southern part of front line has increased considerably in recent days. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops continue their operations against the Russian army in and around Vuhledar. As you can see on the map, the Russian army's 155 Separate Marine Brigade and 14 Separate Special Purpose Brigade are stationed in Mykhilsky and Pavlovka, located south of Vuhledar. According to the latest report, Ukrainian troops are carrying out fierce attacks against the positions of these two brigades. There are also reports that the Russian army has suffered heavy losses in the region. The operation in and around Vuhledar is an important part of Ukraine's southern offensive operations. The main objective of the operation here is to open a corridor to Mariupol. Therefore, we believe that the operations in and around Vuhledar should be monitored very carefully. The city of Vuhledar is located in the region called the Zaporizhia front line. When we look at the map, we can say that the Zaporizhia front line consists of distance of approximately 155 kilometers starting from Vuhledar and extending to Vasilivka. Recent reports indicate that military activity on the southern front is particularly concentrated on this line. For example, one of these points is Velika Novosilka. Especially in Velika Novosilka and many points around the city, Ukrainian army units launch a wave of intense attack on Russian positions. The direction of these attacks is the town of Staromairovsky in the south of city. There have been heavy attacks by the Ukrainian army on these points in recent weeks. In fact, many Russian troops in Urozhain, south of Staromairovsky, were forced to withdraw from the area with the heavy losses due to the pressure from the Ukrainian army. In Orkhiv, another important point on Zaporizhia front line, Ukrainian troops are continuing their operations. As you can see on the map, this small blue area south of Orkhiv was liberated by the Ukrainian army. As you can see, there is a very strategic highway, the T-08-15 highway on this city. It runs from Orkhiv all the way to Mariupol. In parallel to this highway, which will have a very important role in reaching Mariupol, which is one of the important pillars of Ukraine's counterattack, the Ukrainian army's operations continue. According to reports of the Russian sources, the Ukrainian army made territorial gains of the operations between Orkhiv and Vasilivka on the Zaporizhia front line. According to the Russian sources, Ukrainian forces have settled on borders of Pyatikhatki. Calling the Russian government to intervene urgently in this region, Russian sources said that the move to increase the Russian military presence in the region is long overdue, and if this delay continues, Ukrainian troops will arrive with more equipped troops and gain absolute dominance in the region. Now let's analyze the latest developments a little further south. On the eastern side of Kherson, as you know, most of the area east of Dnieper River did not have suitable natural conditions for defense. The defense preparations of the Russian army in the region were cancelled for this reason, and the Russian army decided to withdraw its defense line to the Armyansk and Kalanchak regions in the south of the region. In response, the Ukrainian army has increased its operations around the city of Oleshki on the east bank of the river in recent days. As you can see on the map, local sources claim that the Ukrainian army has carried out infiltration operations in the Delta islets in the region in recent days and has gained control over some islets. The timing of this operation is quite remarkable. As you know, Russia's attack on the Kakhovka Dam destroyed Russian defense line at many points, including Oleshki. With the Ukrainian army carrying out this operation after the disintegration of the Russian defense in the region, we can state that the possibility of dominance in the region has increased. Now let's move a little north and take a look at the developments there. It is possible to talk about the increasing activity of the Ukrainian army in and around town of Marinka. According to the latest reports from local sources, Ukrainian artillery units carried out an intense missile attack on Russian positions in the area. As you can see on the map, south of Marinka is the N15 highway. This highway is a very strategic line leading directly to Donetsk city center. Considering that the Ukrainian army has increased its pressure on the borders of the Donetsk city center in recent days, we can say that the operations around Marinka are of a great importance for the liberation of Donetsk. When we look at Avdiivka, which is further north of Marinka, we see that the Ukrainian army is conducting pinpoint operations. As you can see on the map, the points where Avdiivka is located is a region that Russia could not occupy and suffered great losses. In the east of the city, there are points where there are many equipments and units of Russian army. It is possible to say that there are especially hidden Russian bunkers in the region. The Ukrainian army is conducting a large-scale reconnaissance and destruction operation against these bunkers. In recent days, an operation carried out in a bunker, and the bunker belonging to the Russian army was destroyed along with the ammunition inside. Let's take a look at the latest developments on the Bakhmut front line. Although the war has intensified in the south of Ukraine for the most part, Bakhmut is also in full swing. Ukrainian troops in Bakhmut continue their operations in direction of Berkhivka. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops have entered many positions belonging to the Russian army. With the withdrawal of Russian troops, many Russian ammunition in this position were captured by the Ukrainian army. It is also claimed that many Russian soldiers have been captured. What do you think? Has the Ukrainian counteroffensive started? What will be the evolution of the developments on the front line? Will the losses of the Russian troops increase further? We value your views. Please share them with us.